Hello students, today we will be studying about the topic structure of kidney and its functional unit part 1, which is a topic of B.Sc Zoology Semester 4 paper CC9 unit 3 of Marwari College Ranchi. One pair of kidney is present in human males and females, and these are the organs responsible for excretion of nitrogenous waste, that is urea, from our body by formation of urine. Kidneys are also known as renal organ. Now in part 1 we will be studying only about the structure of kidney, and in part 2 we will be discussing about its functional unit. Now what exactly is the structure of kidney? These are bean shaped organs and are embedded in and held in by position by a mass of adipose tissue. They have outer convex surface and inner concave surface, and they weigh almost 150 gram and are about 11 centimeter long, 6 centimeter wide and 3 centimeter thick. Coming to the location of kidney, they lie on the posterior abdominal wall below the diaphragm. So whenever any surgery of kidney is done, it is done on the dorsal side of our body. The position of kidneys is between the thoracic vertebrae number 12, that is the last thoracic vertebrae, and lumbar vertebrae number 3. So the right kidney is usually slightly lower in position than the left kidney because of the presence of liver. Liver is also present on the right side, so it occupies some space and therefore it pushes the right kidney to slightly lower position. Covering layers of kidney. There are 4 layers that cover kidney to provide protection and protect it from any kind of infections, etc. The outermost layer of kidney is pararenal fat. It is a part of retroperitoneal fat. Then comes renal fascia. It is a condensation of areolar connective tissue that lies internal to pararenal fat and exterior to perirenal fat and encloses the kidney and the suprarenal gland. Then below the renal fascia is the perirenal fat. It is present in the interior of renal fascia and covers the fibrous capsule. What exactly is fibrous capsule? It is closely adherent to kidney's surface. It is a thin layer of fibrous connective tissues that protects the kidney from infections and injury. Now we come to the basic anatomy of kidney. As we can see, these are the important structures that are present in kidney. Renal capsule, then comes cortex, medulla, then there is minor calyx, major calyx, renal pyramid, renal columns, then there is renal pelvis, hilum, renal papilla and ureter that comes out from each kidney. Now we will be elaborating each structure of kidney. First is renal capsule. It is an outermost covering composed of fibrous tissue surrounding the kidney. Next is cortex. It is a reddish brown layer of tissue immediately below the capsule and outside the renal medulla. It comprises of renal corpuscles and convoluted tubules of the nephrons. The renal cortex is a granular tissue due to the presence of nephron, and the cortex provides a space for arterioles and venules from the renal artery and vein, as well as the glomerular capillaries, to perfuse the nephrons of the kidney. And then there is an important hormone known as erythropoietin for the synthesis of new red blood cells, which is produced by the renal cortex part of kidney. Next structure is medulla. It is the innermost layer consisting of conical areas called the renal pyramids, structures that contain a dense network of nephrons and are separated by renal columns. Then we come to renal pyramid. These are cone-shaped regions that contain thousands of urine collecting ducts. There are 8 to 18 renal pyramids in each kidney, and the apex of each pyramid is called a renal papilla. Each renal papilla projects into a small depression called a minor calyx, which is, if plural, will be known as calyces. Minor calyx collects urine from one renal pyramid, and this urine then drains to renal pelvis through major calyx. Major calyx is a collection of several minor calyces. Renal pelvis is again a duct which is shaped like funnel and collects urine from all the major calyces and delivers the urine to ureter, which carries urine to the bladder. Then we come to the major artery and vein, that is the renal artery and renal vein, that are responsible for blood circulation in kidney. Blood supply of kidney is slightly complex. The arteries and veins are very much branched, as we can see in this diagram. There is the basic dorsal aorta that comes out from the heart and supplies the oxygenated blood to the kidneys. From aorta, it is divided into renal artery and then to segmental artery. Then there is interlobar artery, then arcuate artery, and cortical radiate artery. Cortical radiate artery then enters into the nephron area, the afferent arteriole, glomerulus, and then the efferent arteriole. From the efferent arteriole, it will go to the vasa recta, and then comes the venous portions: cortical radiate vein, arcuate vein, interlobar vein, renal vein, and inferior vena cava. This is again a more simpler form to explain how the blood from kidney structures then reaches to the nephron part of the kidney, and how the blood supply is present here. Providing a constant supply of oxygenated blood to the kidneys is one of the most vital functions of the circulatory system, and despite the kidneys being smaller in size, they receive about 20% of the heart's blood output for filtration purpose. The kidneys function is dependent on a constant blood supply, so interruptions in the blood flow to the kidneys may result in tissue death and loss of kidney function. Oxygenated blood pumped by the heart passes through the aorta on its way to the kidneys. In the abdomen, the renal arteries branch from the abdominal aorta inferior to the superior mesenteric artery and extend laterally towards the kidneys. And before reaching the kidneys, each renal artery divides into 5 segmental arteries, which provides blood to various regions of the kidney. Each segmental artery will enter the hilus of the kidney and branch into interlobar artery. An interlobar artery will pass through the renal columns between the pyramids and will then subdivide or branch into arcuate artery. From the arcuate arteries, several branches known as interlobular arteries will separate at right angles and extend to the renal cortex area toward the exterior of the kidney. As the interlobular artery ascend towards the cortex, branches of afferent arterioles are formed and which are sent to the glomerulus. These afferent arterioles give rise to capillaries that form the glomerulus, and from the glomerulus they will unite to form the efferent arteriole, and the efferent arteriole will give rise to peritubular capillaries. So, in the juxtamedullary nephron that we will be discussing in the next part, what exactly is juxtamedullary apparatus. In this case, the peritubular capillaries will form the ascending and descending vasa recta, and the peritubular capillaries together with vasa recta will drain into the interlobular vein, which unite with others to form the arcuate vein. Now we have come to the venous part. Then the interlobular vein exits the kidney as the renal vein. So this is all about the structure and blood supply of kidney. Thank you.